Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. So been a few weeks since we've done one, just been a little bit busy, but on the day for me, you see $152 profit, and just gonna hop in to where that came from. So in the pre-market, pretty large move down with CPI, not crazy move, but a decent move down with CPI. But for me, we were still sitting in hourly balance. See here, 4-hour balance as well, and really over these last couple of weeks, just a whole big balance range. But heading into the actual trade, so make this a little bit bigger. On the open, pretty strong move up, and with that we created 3 fair value gaps. So let's mark one out here, second one out here, and the third one was right here. Okay, so got this move up, we hit the gap around this area, the overnight gap, and we had Powell at 10 as well, which was this candle. So for me, I was looking for a pullback into one of these zones. We also had our 50% retracement sitting at this middle one, which we did end up hitting. We closed below this first fair value gap. For me, I'm not looking for downside on or to inverse this fair value gap, because in a cluster of fair value gaps, and all I mean by that is on this single leg, we created 3 fair value gaps. So since it's to the upside, I need the lowest one to get closed below to then use that as an inverse. So for this, was not looking for any type of downside off the close below this zone. Just took it off, validated that one. Came down to this zone down here. Get a good reaction from this 5-minute, but gave it an extra second. Came down, swept this low. Ideally, is looking for a close back to this fair value gap, but we closed below this candle low and the fair value gap, breaking 5-minute uptrend structure on this close and invalidating this fair value gap. So for me, would have needed to see at least a test into this zone here, but gave the move up. A little bit of market manipulation, but that's okay. Got this downside fair value gap that we formed on the pullback. We closed above it, and once we did that, we got a little retest of this zone, broke structure back to the upside, move up, move down, closed back above here, broke back to the upside, and closed above this downside FVG. And for me, took this entry on the retest of this inverse fair value gap and trimmed out first on this high day right here on this, I believe it might have been a misprint, but regardless, trimmed out here. And then my final exit was on this push up here when SPY and SPX filled their gaps. So we also got some random pop up like a second after I trimmed. I literally trimmed, pulled back a little bit, and then just randomly popped up. Regardless, it's fine. Good trade. Ideally, would have wanted to catch an entry down here. Just didn't quite fit my criteria. I wanted to close in this zone and close below and below this candle. So waited for more confirmation, which was the inverse of this fair value gap, break back to the upside to the 5-minute structure, play this entry up. Decent little trade. So for me, that was the only trade for the day. Just keep it as simple, one good trade at a time. Appreciate you guys all for coming as always, and see you in the next one. Peace.